Now, Pakistan and Afghanistan have announced a 48-hour ceasefire just hours after dozens of troops and civilians were killed in border clashes. The temporary truce follows the worst week of violence between the two neighbours since the Taliban seized power in 2021. Its outbreak was triggered by a series of explosions in Kabul, which the Taliban attributed to Pakistan. Islamabad, in turn, accuses the Taliban of harbouring militant groups that have launched attacks in Pakistan. Both sides say the current ceasefire came at the request of the other. Zardasht Shams is a former Afghan deputy ambassador to Pakistan. He has deep insight into both countries' relations and regional security. Welcome to DW, sir. Thank you for your time today. Is the ceasefire, which has been declared just in the last few hours, is that likely to hold, do you think? Or could we be on the brink of a wider war here between Afghanistan and Pakistan?
Thank you, Angela. I think the situation is quite volatile. We're not sure whether it will sustain because the Duran line, the line that's dividing the two countries, it's quite volatile. The terrain, the geography, and the different like checkposts and the security situation over there. And then the militants, like particularly in the tribal areas of Pakistan, and the Pakistan military, which is also have quite huge presence in all these areas. So for time being, it's a 48-hour ceasefire. But let's see. It depends on the commitments of both sides, particularly the Pakistan military, which started this aggressive attack on Afghanistan, particularly targeting Kabul initially a few days back, and then targeting several other places in the Paktika, the southeastern parts of Afghanistan, and then which led to the retaliation from Taliban. So let's see if both sides keep that promise of ceasefire.
There have been diplomatic contacts in recent months between Kabul and Islamabad that signalled a possible improvement in relations. Where did things go wrong, would you say?
I believe that currently Pakistan is facing a full-fledged or wide scale of civil war, I would say. Because it's not only in one part, it's in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in the tribal areas, and in Balochistan. So it's a widespread, and it's not only like it didn't start when Taliban came into power in Afghanistan in 2021. So the militants, particularly the TTP, what they call it, Pakistani Taliban, so it has a history of almost 2 decades. It's was formally established in 2006 and 7. But though they had presence before that, even one time, like before 2001, Pakistan agreed to grant them some sovereign or like some autonomy in the Swat district of Pakistan, which were like the seniors of these current Taliban. And then in Balochistan, they also have militancy. They are fighting. Though that's a nationalist movement. So it goes back to the roots are over there. But now the problem with Pakistan is that they choose the aggressive way or the violence. There are means of diplomatic relations and the negotiations, but the major issue is the Pakistan expectation from Taliban or even from the previous republic is the expectations are such higher level that even the previous republic, the previous Afghan government before 2021, and now even Taliban, which were believed to be much closer to Pakistan, they even can't fulfill these. So these are the main reasons, because these tribal areas, as I mentioned, the Duran line, it's quite difficult to secure these places. Even the NATO and the US forces with all these technology, they were unable to control and limit the infiltration of people. And there are then tribal affiliations and these connections. So it's quite difficult.
It's obviously a very complex situation, but I'd just like to bring you back to the fact that Pakistan is known for openly accuses Afghanistan of providing a safe haven to the Pakistan Taliban and supporting their fight against Islamabad. So can I ask you to react to that? How much truth is there to those claims?
No, I don't think there are any truth. There might be, as I told, there are tribal connections. There people speak same language, same ethnicity. But even like as we have information, Taliban very sincerely, the Afghan Taliban, initially they even helped them or coordinated their negotiations. But like they can't dictate them. So they tried whatever they could. So now it's quite tricky because Pakistan expects that the issue, which is an internal issue of Pakistan, as I initially told, it's a civil war. So their grassroots, their support network, the operation they conduct is deep inside Pakistan. So it's a quite difficult situation for Afghan Taliban to help and fulfill what the Pakistani government demands.
But attacks on Pakistani security forces have reached record levels this year, and Pakistan is saying, you know, it can't tolerate that any longer. So what's your response to that?
Yeah, but it's not only the one reason that it's because of the Afghanistan or the Afghan Taliban. It has a multifaceted situation like the Pakistani Taliban. They have grievances from the military. Military bombarded their villages. They killed them. They have destroyed their economy. So have a background of several decades. It's not a overnight thing that it will be it can resolve, or even the Afghan Taliban can help. So it's a complicated situation. First of all, these tribal areas, these were autonomous regions, and it's a buffer between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And it used to be buffer between Afghanistan and the British who were ruling this part of the world. So now Pakistani military entered after 2001 in the so-called name of war on terror, but they came and they did atrocities. They bombarded the people. So people have grievances, and they have taken arms and they are uprising.
We're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for your time, Zardasht Shams, Afghan diplomat. Thanks for joining us on DW.
You're most welcome. Thank you.